Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to Pacific Paradise, and welcome back to this island we are making a caldera, a volcano island. But wait, there's more, there's always more. We are on the PC version of the game, Steam version of the game, and because there's quite a lot of new people here, we're just going to run through the controls at the beginning of the episode. So, we are using W to go forward, S to go back, A to go left, D to go right, Q to go down, E goes up, you push and hold the right mouse button, pans the camera around, but wait, there's more. There's always more. If we go into here and pull out the life raft, we are using R to rotate, T transforms, C copies or clones, delete deletes, and if you have something selected and press F, that focuses. You want more? More? Well, we've got under terrain these three brushes. So we have raise and lower height, set height, and smooth height. But wait. Yes, these sliders are inherited between all three brushes, so if we crank the amount up and we have the smoothing tool selected and we're smoothing off the beach, just kind of like this, smoothing that sand, making it nice and sandy. Then we go to raise and lower, and if we were to left click now, well, with the amount slider cranked all the way up, it would send a spike all the way up to Babylon 5, and Commander John Sheridan would be very upset. I would be upset if my space station was pierced by a piece of sand, but what you should do is take this amount slider and always have it cranked to its lowest possible setting. Because there is no undo in the game, your best option is to save regularly, save often, and if you do make a mistake, don't try and fill in the hole or the big spike that you've created. Instead, just escape to the main menu and then come back in again. Load your previous save. So last time we were working on, if we have objects selected, so we don't have a big blue brush everywhere, we were working on groins. And everyone's like, you what, mate? Groins. Groynes. Yes, those are the things that trap sand. So they stop sand drifting across a beach. And you find them in places like Victorian beach resorts usually. So what you do is you put them across your beach, and as the sand is pulled along by time and tide, it extends the beach out from the sea wall usually. So we've added a couple of those, and then we added a jetty. I've got a boat here, but it's not really doing much at the time being because, well, there's no real story for it. It's just kind of there. What I might do is switch this boat out for something else. Now, we have ourselves a caldera, and inside it, there's not much at the moment. We have another boat here, the same one in fact, just for scale. Why did it get so dark all of a sudden? The sun's gone in. So yeah, we got another boat. It's just here for scale because underneath the water in the caldera, we have ourselves a cave and a lava tunnel, which is kind of neat. So that goes out to the ocean. I'm not going to go and drift down there. We also have, that's the other thing that happens. The more items and objects you have on an island, the more erratic the camera is because there is no constant velocity. In Stranded Deep 2, if they do add a map editor, I really want constant velocity on the camera. Yes, so the cave comes out here. We can in fact see it if we go to terrain, hit the cog and hit display ocean. Boop, everything's turned off. There's the entrance to the cave, so it goes out into the ocean. Let's turn the ocean back on, get rid of the brush. We've got ourselves a little broken bridge that scientists may or may not have been using to cross the edge of this lava flow. We've got a path up here buried in the hillside, so we got one that goes up to the crater lip, which is looking very good. We've got another path that we started, which goes along the edge of the volcano up to a terrace. Now it's going to be quite hard to fly the camera through here because all the trees. It wants to go fast and then slow every time it encounters an object. And then we've got a building that we've put up on the terrace side. So we've got a bunch of stuff. It's a bunch of cool stuff here. We put a forest in, and because forests don't just spring out of the sand, we've got a bunch of rocks and plants and things to trap the seeds. And then we've got these Cook pines, named after Captain Cook, who was, well, he was a sailor. He was also taken out, eliminated by the locals on Hawaii, but not for the reason the locals will tell you. What was that? Oh, they'll tell you that they brought disease, but it was actually one of the locals stole one of their boats. And they went to get it back and they kidnapped a chief, and then things got a bit weird. Somebody else came in and they got shot, and then everyone got a bit stabby. So yeah, a stolen boat is what undid Captain Cook in the end. One of the ship's boats, like a skiff, I guess. Anyway, this side of the island is pretty bare. It is? Yes. Now, we haven't done anything with the Caldera yet. We've added a forest on one side. We've added this collection of trees here. It's looking quite good. What I was thinking, though, is we've got this way up here, a natural incline. And I kind of want to encourage people to run up here. It would be quite nice. And I'd like some trees and vegetation here, but I don't want to just keep building forest all the way around the volcano. I kind of want to do something slightly different, so we are going to be using a lot of rocks and a lot of trees, but I'd like to keep it a bit Mediterranean instead of just going, because we can't use any more cook pines. The pines are done. We can use palms, and we can use an absolute feast of ficus trees, but that's about it. So what we're probably going to do is bring open the trees, and then scroll down until we get the ficus. Now, these are not alphabetized. They're not? No, it begins with alocasia, banana, coconut. That's what happens when you read the first two letters and go, yep, brain, that's fine. Cocoa bush, saruman, ficus, kura, wood, logs, and then you go from wood log to palm, pine, wait, potato, quawa, wavalava, another P. So yeah, it's alphabetized for a little bit, and then it sort of goes all over the place. So we'll find the ficuses. Ficus tree 2 is the big one. Ooh, it's big. It really is big. And then we got the smaller ficus tree. So what we could do is quickly check using its structures, isn't it? Mr. Door. We'll use Mr. Door to check the height of the player. That's the height of the player. Mr. Door, because the player has to go through a door, you can use Mr. Door. If you click and hold and move it around, you can see exactly how tall the player is going to be and kind of get a sense of scale. So yeah, Mr. Door. There's plenty of space here, even though the beach isn't that wide. There's quite a lot of it. And what we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, say 10 players high. So that's still quite a high escarpment. Good, but the trees are pretty big. Like, these ficuses are enormous. Not you, but you. That's not one either. It's ficus tree 2. There we go. So how are we going to do this? Well, what we're going to do is we are going to put them on the hillside in places. Now, we're going to take the opportunity to position them without putting rocks and stuff at the base. We will, because we want to address this. I'm not just going to allow trees to appear. Yes, they do appear in the middle of fields and things, but quite often they're planted. So what we're going to do is just see how this looks. By using T to transform, I'm going to grab them toggles. And I kind of want the branches to be in a specific way. I want the branches to be over pathways and to be over hillsides and things. That looks pretty good. That's pretty good. Now what we could do is press C to copy, R to rotate. We're going to be a little bit careful because there's a bunch of objects on the other side of the island. So as we let go, what could happen is this toggle might snap to something that we can't see, another object, and we accidentally move or rotate to something else. So the best way to do it is just to point the camera in a direction where there are limited objects. There's no guarantee that you might not mess something up, but... Yes, we have a limited number of objects anyway in the toolbox to play with, so we have to get creative. Right, okay, so I'm hoping that's the same tree. It is. Good, so now we have a big tree with a bit more chunky foliage. There you go, look at that. Ooh, that's quite nice. That's quite nice. Something here? Yeah, I don't see. Let's hit terrain and objects so we don't have anything selected. T to transform, drag you down. Drag you down? I don't want to do that. I don't really want the trees poking up above the crater lip for a couple of reasons. In my mind, you can see the wind having an effect over the lip of a crater. If you've ever flown model aircraft, you may know the effect of like downdraft. So the wind comes in off the ocean, it kind of gets compressed, gets kicked up over the edge of this lip, and then it gets dragged down the other side. So around here, around the top of the lip, there's a lot of turbulence, and I don't think plants are going to like that turbulence. It's going to burn the leaves, burn the branches, which is the in-head canon of why we're not going to put anything too close to the crater lip. Also, it just keeps the lines of sight clear. Oh, we're too close to an object. It keeps the lines of sight clear, so as you look around, you get to see the tops of the trees, just the very tippity tops, but you still have nice clear sight lines out to sea, and also across the caldera itself. So yeah, you set your own rules when you are making a map, and then you kind of stick to them, and those rules create a narrative. So I'm just going to rotate that until it looks kind of okay, and pull it away from the crater wall a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit too high, but otherwise there's just, as you're coming down here, I just like the trees left and right. And it's going to be very hard for me to not just fill this entire hillside with stuff. But bearing in mind there's probably going to be scrub and a grass texture here. Terrain objects, so we got nothing selected. Nothing, shalala. Alright, you quote a lot of films. I do. So let's do that. When was that from? That was from Labyrinth. That was Jareth talking to Hoggle. The tree. Yeah. Okay. And adding trees has a neat side effect. You get these shadows as well, which also move during the day. How do I know where the shadows are going to be? Good question. Terrain objects, we got nothing selected. Go back to terrain, and then you get the time of day slider. So you can see exactly what is going to happen. And for these shadows, they're going to progress from the morning. They're going to progress down the side of the volcano, and then in the afternoon they are going across the beach. And then, oh, there's an interesting effect. Oh, look at that. So we have very late evening, all of the shadows from the trees on the opposite side, but because these trees are high up, look at that. Sort of mid-afternoon, probably about 4ish, you are going to see the bottoms of the trees because they are creating a shadow. Interesting. Is that a problem? Not really. We can always add stuff along here. That's not so much of an issue. Is it something we can get away with? Yeah, or we just ignore it. Really? If I was making a Bethesda level, like some area in, say, Skyrim, I would be a bit more worried about it, but I'm not. Oh, why not? Because I don't work for Bethesda. Would you like to? Would I like to do this professionally? Part of me says yeah. Like, of course you'd want to work for a game company professionally. On the other hand, like, if you had a set of tools that you could use kind of like this, that would be amazing. On the other hand, crunch time, you might end up, like, having to work long hours for not much pay. I don't know. It's a tricky one. Like, the game industry can be good, but it can also be difficult to work with. So yeah, we're just adding these trees. I'm just sort of popping them in. If I don't like them, I can always move them. I don't know if I want to keep it open then. I'm falling into the same trap. I think I'll another one here. Oh, hello. So plants always go up, face the sun. Unless there's a reason for them not to face the sun. Yeah. So what do you do at the moment? Oh, I'm a specialist image editor, which is a fun. It's a fun one. It's an interesting job. I was a computer technician before that, and now I'm an image editor. What does that entail? A lot of Photoshop, a lot of Wacom, graphics tablet. Graphics tablets are very easy to use. You put them in front of the keyboard, so you put it in front of the spacebar, you put the keyboard behind. One hand goes on the keyboard, on the shortcuts, and the other hand goes on your Wacom. And that's basically the position you should use a graphics tablet. I've seen people put graphics tablets to the sides of keyboards. Nah, you're just stressing your shoulders. You have to have a fairly deep desk, really, to use a graphics tablet. So graphics tablet in front of the keyboard, that's the best position for it. I might turn you into a big tree. I think so, yeah. Let's do the same thing. So we'll hit C with that selected. And then it's going to rotate, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't want it. You rotate it because you don't want. See, if I leave it like that, we've got this branch, and you can kind of see that it's just the same tree copied twice. I don't want that. I do want that. So what we'll do is we'll rotate one of these. That's something in the background. Gotta keep your eyes open. Got it. That's something in the background. There we go. That should be it. It is. Right, cool. Well, we'll rotate about 90 degrees. And then blue, pull it up. And there we go. And then T, transform. And one of the things I'm looking at is this root here. Bring it too far out, the root ends up hovering. That's actually not too bad. Okay, that's pretty good. And it has a sort of 3D quality. Yeah, it's not too bad. The other thing that you get when you put the trees sort of around is that if you are running along the crater lip and you look down, trees are big. Trees are big. They're bigger than a person. And if you're looking down on the top of a tree, you get a sense of scale. If we didn't have anything along here, let's go here. And then, whoop. I wish for constant velocity in the camera. If we stand here and then look down, without any sort of trees and stuff, we don't have a sense of scale. There's nothing to tell us how tall or how high we are up. We can see some change in texture in the water. It kind of gives us a sense that we're high up. But if you have something like a tree, you know instinctively, because you're a human and trees are bigger than humans, you're a long way up. And it kind of gives you a sort of an estimation of how high you are, in fact, up. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Terrain objects. All right. So I said I didn't want to. I said I don't want to keep adding stuff like that. We do need to decorate the sides of the hillside, though. The sides of the hillside. Good words, old chum, old bean, old buddy. Cliff 6. You'll do. Right. Well. How often do you use Britishisms like old bean and old chum? Yeah, quite often. Usually just not seriously, just kind of like tongue-in-cheek, really. Oh. Yeah, I guess those are like Americanisms that people use. Can't bring one to mind. So what we're going to do is hit terrain, and then here we are. What I want to do is pull the dirt into this. Now we can raise and lower, or we can set height, which isn't a good way of doing it. But I'm going to use raise and lower, so I'm going to make sure the amount slider is just off the stop. I'm going to give it raise is selected, change the size of the brush down, and then left click just once, twice, just to see the strength of the brush. Because you want the dirt in the gap. There you go. There you go. Oh, it's raised up too much. You've biffed it up there, oh chum. You've biffed it up. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yes, we're raising up too much, but we got this brush here. Smooth height. Crank it up. Rip the knob off. And smooth it back. Look at that. We might need to do it a couple of times, but crank the mount slider down because it's dangerous in its current position. And then fill this in, kind of like builder's foam. There you go. Fill it in, and then crank it up and smooth it back. There we go. Now we know. There we go. Yeah, look at that. We sort of put it in its position. It's quite nice. Just want to check, make sure there's no gaps underneath, because this has a hollow structure underneath. That doesn't look very good. I know, right? I know. The bottom is a bit not great. The the cocoa bush. There you go. Hit R to rotate. We're just going to put bush in the bottom of this cliff. Yes. You didn't think we had time for bush? But we have time for bush. Let's see. I think we do need to rotate that. We do. T to transform. But yeah, this is if you are new here, this is very much a long play channel. We do playthroughs of things. I do playthroughs of things. There used to be a we, and there's now just a me. It's me. Me. Weird. I don't know. I have actually a couple of questions. So as I position this bush, basically I don't want the hard 3D geometry of the bottom of the bush to. I want the sprites on top, and I just want to fill this with a bit of green essentially, which is nice. I might do another one here as well. So yeah, I suppose a couple of questions. Do you, as a human being, do you ever think of yourself like using your own name? I know it's a curious thing to ask, but I realise that I don't ever call myself by my own name. I don't know, it's weird. My sisters use my name, but I never really liked it. And when people use it in conversation, it's like, oh yeah, no, that's my name, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I guess how attached to you, how attached to your government name are you? I think is the real question. And another question would be ranch dressing. I saw some in the supermarket earlier, so we're just going to dress this a little bit with some trees and things. Specifically palm trees, because we're on the beach at this point. The big ones. There we go. Again, sense of scale. We can pop this into the bush that we've put in. Cool, and then rotate it. Obviously rotate the palms. So yeah, ranch dressing. So it's an American thing. I saw some in the supermarket earlier. I have no idea what you're supposed to use it on with. Is it salad dressing? Do you put it on meat? And it wasn't very expensive. Obviously shelf stable. I have legit no idea what ranch goes with. Do you carbonate it and have it in a soda? I gather people have. Okay, so because we got this large ass bush, I'm going to put this shorter tree in the top of the bush. So it looks like it's growing out through a bush. Right, good. And we always rotate these because the palm tops are identical. So you just want them to look different. We have no control over whether these things will have coconuts on them. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But again, if you're standing up here, the tree is tall, you're a human being, and you can look down and go, ah, look at that. I'm taller than a tree. This must be quite high up. And in fact, it is. But it's just a little decoration. Because otherwise we've just got a bunch of like hillside. This is just, it's not going to stop the player going up, but it is just a little bit of different like decoration here. I think the other thing we can probably do is just check behind us. Yeah, we've got some rocks over there. So I think terrain objects, we've got nothing selected. And we'll go to rocks and we will scroll down until we've got shoreline rock 2, specifically 2, and then we can. I'm going to put some just Oh, yeah, there. So it looks like some rockfall has occurred. Really? Yep. It's really... I love shoreline rock too. It's a very cheaty like rock to use. And since we are here, cheaty as in we can get a lot of rocks for a single object. So we'll go back to trees, we'll scroll all the way down, and we'll get some palm saplings and just throw them in here. So we'll give them a rotate. Just a rando rotate. Rando rotate. Rando rotate. There you go. There's a bit of greenery. The grey is broken up somewhat by the palms. You can't dictate whether somebody will come along and chop them all down and build something with them, but as they are, they do break up that big old grey cliff face. So we've added a cliff face just as a literal decoration. Speaking of which, I kind of want these trees to have some life to them, well, some reason for them to be. Oh no, you're going to add rocks. I'm going to add rocks. Okay, because we've established that actually quite often the trees themselves have some sort of like reason to be. Okay, so I hit T, I hit R. Nice. There's a little platform to walk on. It is a little platform to walk on. And that. But it's also a little platform where we can add some shrubbery. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yes, a little bit of shrubbery. We have like 4 plants, 2 of the same species that we can use here. So we'll use some alocasia, and then we've got the cerumen, which are like cerumen 1, 2, and 3, and then alocasia 1 and 2. Literally just these are just the plants that we have. Kind of a curious collection. I wish we had more plants. That'd be nice. Yes, a hyacinth bouquet. Let's do this. Do you ever wonder if people are listening to the words you're saying? Not especially. I mean, people pick up. It's interesting to see what people do and do not pick up as you talk. Like you see in the comments, sometimes people pick up on something you've completely forgotten that you said. Banana plant here would be quite nice. Yeah, sometimes people pick up on things that you've forgotten that you've said. That looks a little bit too tall, so we can drag that in and then just rotate here. Okay, so yeah, moving the camera around in 3D space actually allows you to see things from, well, different angles, but you want to see things from different angles. Really, you want to see if it looks good on the ground, you want to see if it looks good above. You want to see the difference from different points of view. From up here, it looks quite good, but from down on the beach, I mean, typically you're going to be running around looking for stuff on the beach, and you look up and go, oh, that's an interesting thing. That still looks way more interesting than nothing around the bottom of the tree. I know it's something that we keep doing, but it does. It looks more interesting. Let's change the time of day. There you go. There you go. It looks a little bit more interesting than just tree and dirt. I know trees do grow out of the dirt. I mean, there was the famous one at Sycamore Gap in the UK that a couple of people chopped down for no reason at all. I don't know why they did that, but yeah. And then they went to prison for it. So don't chop down trees in the UK unless you want to go to prison. Probably not for very long. So we're going to do the same thing here. I don't know if we need to decorate each of these. Probably not. Not to the same degree, so we will just hit some trees and then maybe just a little bit of I'm gonna say aloe. No, it's the wrong angle. Nana? Yeah, a little bit of nan. Look at that. It's floating over the gaps. Oh no, that's terrible. Hit R to rotate. There you go. That's a bit better. So no, don't need to do too much for that one. I think that's fine as it is. It just looks a little bit better, a little bit more interesting. You know what I've got stuck in my head? It's the sea shanty. It's the Wellerman sea shanty. Out of the blue, you say that? Yeah, out of the blue, I say that. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to use smaller rocks. I don't know the lyrics. So it's... What was going through my head earlier? Hey ho, the Wellerman come to touch our tummies and spank our bums. Hey ho, the Wellerman come to spank our bum in the morning. I don't think that's the right lyrics. But then I was kicked out of my fisherman's chorus. Local fisherman's chorus. Not for the reasons you think, either. I'm just not a fisherman, never have been. Afraid of the ocean. So I'm just going to put some small rocks in here. Let's do that. So little rocky bits and pieces. Time of day. Time of day? Can we get a... So we can get a nicer colour in the time of day, but unfortunately we're working our own shadow here. And we've got to be a little bit careful because the grass sprites might actually poke out of this. So you need it out far enough the grass sprites don't affect it too much. Interesting, I wave my hands around and you can't see that. You can't see it, you see. I would like aloe. I'd like aloe to be here. It's nice. Aloe is very good for the skin. And it resists being set on fire, something fierce. It does? Oh yeah, it really does. I think a moisturizer as well. You moisturize? Oh yeah, yes, of course you do. Well, I do. In fact, yeah. Why would you not? Like, look after yourself, no one else is going to. You laughed. Yeah, like, take the extra time to cook yourself something nice for dinner. If you don't know how, learn. It's your body. So we're just adding another plant here. Yeah, I find learning things is, like, I like carrot cake, and one year I was just like, you know what, I want to learn how to make carrot cake. Turns out you need a buttload of carrots. Unsurprisingly. Ceremon over there. Do we use alocasia? Small alocasia? Yeah, maybe. Small alocasia. T-transform. I'm looking at this leaf clipped into the rock. There you go. And then it snapped on the rock anyway. Cool. Cool. Terrain objects. I don't like this where it is. There you go. Let's move it up there. Is that floating? No, it's not. So yeah, moving the camera around in 3D space just to make sure things are in fact how you imagine them to be from all angles is good. I'll move that down a little bit because I see way too much stalk. Too much stalk. And then move it over here. Rotate it a bit this way. There we go. And then from up here, it doesn't look too bad. No, you're probably not going to notice it really. From up there. And then probably terrain objects, probably. It's because there's a broken rock here. We'll go back to rocks and I'm going to grab that shoreline rock again. Oh yeah. There you go. There you go. Oh, wait. That all blends in. It's almost as if you used the blend in tool. It really does blend in, doesn't it? And it kind of joins this area up over here, almost like there's been a rock slide and this tree is growing up here and this tree is growing out here on the beach and they're all kind of... It's like poetry. Uh-huh. Yes, well, good. So what are we doing? We've just put a bunch of trees in, to be honest. We've put in a bunch of trees, we've put in some rocks, we are decorating. The trouble with this is it's just going to take a long time. A long time. We do need to put something in here. I'm kind of wondering if we do, in fact, put more palm trees in there. I don't know if that's gonna be too much. Maybe not. If it's smaller than the tree above it. A lone palm. That might be alright. Yeah, that's probably fine. Palm saplings. Boop. And then palm sapling. There. Alright, cool. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. It's different plant, different texture, different material. Okay, so we've got another plant, another tree over here, and we've got one up here. I think... Oh, we also need to decorate this whole area here. And we still need to look... Whoop, we held shift, you scoot forward, sometimes a little too far. We've got to decorate this whole area here as well. We started this path, but we never really finished decorating it. It exists. I might need to do a pass on the island just to fix stuff up. But this place is huge. Like, it's so big, so massive, that if we turn the ocean off, yeah, look, the island goes so close to the abyss. There's basically, you've got volcano, beach, abyss. This is very difficult. It's very difficult. And it's going to take a long time to decorate. But we've made a start. And I think this should be the Mediterranean side. So as far as like tall trees go, this should be it. I think what we'll do afterwards is come along, put smaller plants, so collections of rocks, smaller plants along here, and I think it'll look fine. I think it'll be good. We could do something here as well. And maybe some cliffs over here, something different. So that we have cliffs in this blank area, we have groins, the boats, and the Mediterranean side here. We have the lava tunnel over here. And then this side we have the forest and we have the research station. Good. Good. And that is midday, right? Yeah. It just doesn't feel that warm, you see. It doesn't feel that warm. We are making progress. We are definitely making progress, but this is taking a long time. And then we've got to decorate the inside of the caldera. Probably not by much. Not by much at all. I think we could probably leave that fairly open and clear, because the big thing in there is the lava tunnel, the cave that you can swim out to sea, or maybe not. Maybe it's too long, and maybe you drown if you try. But I'm going to leave it there for the time being. So if you like this, definitely leave a little like if you haven't if you haven't done that already. That does help the channel out and it helps the video out as well. If you haven't also done already, consider subscribing, because that just makes you feel good. If you want notifications, dingle the bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell, and I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.